welcome to another episode of the Alt Pulse podcast.
Yeah, we're back, finally. I'm Rob.
And I'm Laura, and we're here to talk to you about our experiences with music in the rock, alternative and metal scene.
Now, on today's episode, we're going to reveal which gigs and festivals we've attended or are going to attend this year. We'll outline our plans for our channel going forward, and we'll give you an insight into some of the music that we're looking forward to in 2026.
Yes, so obviously we haven't done a podcast or a video in general since our end of year awards.
Which is over a month ago, right?
Yes, pretty much a month ago now, yeah. We've been quite busy. We've got quite a few things that we want to sort of try and achieve in our personal lives this year.
We're trying to save money, which crucially means that there's probably going to end up being considerably less gigs that we're going to be able to attend this year, unfortunately.
My list of gigs this year so far are very, very minuscule.
Yeah, mine has diminished completely. I mean, we'll go through which gigs that we're going to be attending later on. But also, I've got a lot of gigs lined up for my own band, to be fair, this year, which also involves, a lot of rehearsal time and practicing, because we want to really refine our craft this year and get, things a bit tighter, shall we say.
Yeah, definitely. So, that's why we've been a little bit absent in January. And to be honest, January is always a little bit of a quieter month in general anyway. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we've not done stuff anyway.
Well, we went. It was my birthday in January, and we attended Noasis, which is an Oasis tribute band.
Yes, they're very, very good. We've seen them before.
It's very hard to get people together in January up for stuff, especially because the weather's so bad, and
And with people getting paid early before Christmas as well, and everyone getting skin in January.
Killed me this year, honestly. I don't know what it was about January this year, but it felt so much worse. Things felt a lot more restrictive this January than usual, but it didn't stop us from attending a few things.
No.
Which nicely segues into gigs that we have been to recently.
Yes. So I will say I've only been to one gig in January, minus the Noasis thing. But we'll let you talk about your last minute gig first.
Yes. Shout out to Sarah for the last minute ticket for this. I wasn't planning to attend this gig at all, and then I got a message out of the blue whilst I was at work on the day from my mate Sarah saying, do you want this ticket? It's for Pest Control at the Doc Martens store in London. And I was like, well, I mean, it sounds like a good gig, sounds like a good vibe, I'll take it on. And I mean, literally, it was one of the quirkiest gigs I've ever been to. It took place in the Doc Martens store, like I said. So, literally in the middle of a shop, pretty much.
Yeah. And
you go upstairs. It was like the spiral staircase that ended up going upstairs. And the venue's just there. And it's like...
It's almost kind of like Rough Trade, but not in a record shop. Yeah, it's in a shoe shop.
The whole thing was so wonderfully ghetto and DIY. You had basically the soundstage set up right where like all the shelves of Doc Martens were behind them, and you had like Metallica flags draped all over the place, which was interesting. I think that's kind of what their marketing is going towards. It's some really cool sort of old school Metallica posters. I think maybe the owner is like a massive fan or something, so he had them draped all out. In the downstairs area, you had the band put on customized T-shirt prints. So essentially, you queued up, and I queued up for bloody ages. By the way, I still didn't get it, annoyingly, because that was kind of one of the big attractions, I guess. You could get your own customized Pest Control T-shirt for free, like what you did with Vukovi.
Yeah, at Trees
at
last
2000
year.
Trees. Mm-hmm. So it was like a print machine.
Yeah,
and
but it was for T-shirts.
You could choose like a wall of like.
It was all Flash, designs. Wasn't it?
It was all Flash designs. Yeah. But you could customize it, make like, so you had the band logo at the top, and then one of their symbols below it and stuff. But unfortunately, I got to the very beginning of the queue, and the band started, and they also said we've only got 4 T-shirts left, and I was the 5th person. So
no
sadly,
there.
no T-shirt for me. I did get their album though.
Yeah.
Which is a great album. I believe it's called "Don't Test the Pest."
Yes.
And if you like your kind of crossover thrash / hardcore female lead singer with more balls than a lot of men nowadays, then definitely check that out. It's a brilliant album. Also met Dan P. Carter there and had a nice chat with him about his new project Recluse, which are going to be playing Outbreak.
Yes, we'll talk more about Outbreak later on in the podcast.
But he told me that they're kind of going for a sort of post-punky high-vis type vibe, amongst other elements, but Yeah, very nice chap. Always a pleasure to talk to. I talked to him about
Yeah.
2000 Trees last year as well. I kind of knew that there'd be some industry people involved in this.
Yeah.
But like I said, gig was free. So again, appreciate it, Sarah. Thank you very much. Thanks for the free ticket. Not only that wasn't the only thing that was free.
No.
The beer was free as well. And you think, my God, like how could they afford to put all this? Because there was a lot of people. That were
Yeah, it did look very full from the
there. It
videos.
was pre-packed, you know.
Yeah, I
And
wasn't there, obviously.
They collaborated with Signature Brew Pest Control and just laid out this big spread of like, you know, ice buckets filled with, you know, IPAs and all stuff. And you think that is unbelievably generous.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, we're talking about how penny pinching we've been in January.
I know,
It really
yeah.
was a great asset. And it'd be stupid not to turn down because also, without giving too much away, my workplace was pretty much around the corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a fantastic evening. The band obviously played great. I got in a circle pit in a Doc Martin store, which is something I never thought I'd ever
No.
say.
Two things in the same sentence that
Usually
shouldn't really
don't go
make
together,
sense.
you know.
Yeah.
And there was a lot, you know, there was obviously all the hard, you know, core spin kicking.
Of
away.
course.
I think I even grabbed the microphone at one point where during Don't Test the Pest,
Yeah.
I had my little hardcore into
Yeah.
It's good practice for it's good practice for a festival that we are going to be attending later on, which
Yes,
we'll get into.
Of course.
But anyway, yeah, fantastic evening. Got home in plenty of time.
And you had a picture with the lead singer of Pest Control as well, right?
Oh yeah, and she was awesome, and they were quality band, and I hope to. Well, we are going to see.
We
them
are
again.
going to be seeing them later on this year, which we'll get to later. But we also want to talk about the other gig that we've been to in January.
Sort of the main big gig, I would say.
Yeah,
at
this
time.
I will say, like I say, this was my first gig of this year, and I think already it's gonna be hard to top because I had a brilliant time, and that was seeing Marmozets at Dingwalls in Camden.
The weird and wonderful.
The weird and
Marmozets.
wonderful Marmozets, as I always like to sort of say. But yeah, Marmozets, obviously, I've been chatting about them on the podcast for a very long time now. And they've been teasing for a very long time that they're coming back. And now they're finally back for good, I hope.
Well, because pre-lockdown, they kind of went away. For a
Yeah,
bit,
they
right?
went on a bit of a hiatus because Becca got pregnant. And then obviously COVID happened and they were raising their kid and all that.
There was a
and
lot of
Josh was like playing with like 100 Reasons. So there was like...
There was a lot of radio silence, I think, from them for a while, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, to cut a long story short, they've released like a few singles so
Like
far for this
3
new album.
singles so far.
Yeah, and the new album, which is called Cowword Ice.
That's
It's
right,
kind
yeah.
of like cow.word.ice,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. That comes out, I believe, in May. So yes, Cow War Dice. That's how it's sort of like spelt out with, you know, lots of full stops. 22nd of May, people. I'm finally
Get
going to
on
be... Oh, I'm so excited.
So
I need
when,
to pre-order
when
the
did
album.
they release Knowing What You Know Now? That was
2018
like, so
was
it's
when
been
the album
nearly
came
10
out.
years.
Nearly 10 years since their last release.
Blimey.
So, very much excited. But anyway, back to the gig. So, I was very excited. This would be my 5th time seeing Marmozets, and this was Rob's first time.
First ever time.
First ever time.
And I always, like, through lockdown and beyond, I was agonising about the fact that I had the opportunity to see him at Download 2018, I think it was.
Yeah, they would have been playing main stage then, I
Playing
think.
main stage, and I didn't. And then I properly got into him after they played there.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of agonising over that for ages. But, you know, it was well worth the wait.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
It was a fantastic
So-
show.
Of course, yeah. The venue was a little bit weird. It's kind of on, like, different levels.
So I should explain, Dingwalls is in Camden, and it's right on the banks of the canal that runs
Yeah.
through Camden.
Literally where the Spoons is at the canal, it's literally opposite the way.
Yeah.
It's not too far from Camden Market as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I've been there like once, but not for a gig. I think I was upstairs for like a night out sort of deal.
Well, the
I've
last-
definitely never been to a gig in the area where we were last, like, you know,
Yeah.
for that gig.
So the last and only time I've been to Dingwalls was to see an Australian band called Cog. I don't know if many of you remember or even know about Cog, but they came out with like a brilliant album in the mid-2000s called The New Normal, which I was obsessed with pre-lockdown. Met them after the gig, seemed like sound blokes, got a pick, got a set list as well, I believe.
Nice.
And this was the first time they'd come over to the UK in like more than 10 years, I would
Yeah.
say, at that point. I think they're still going. I couldn't tell you. It's been a while. But yeah, The only thing that really seemed to have changed is that I don't think there was much of a stage last time around. Whereas they've got like a barrier in place now, and they've got like an elevated
stage.
platform that is the stage. You know.
Mm.
The other thing I should point out is that there was a lot of crowd service during the gig, as expected at a Marmoset's gig or any rock gig. A lot of them got chucked out, and Sam, the bass player, was really not very happy about this.
No, he was like, get him back in, you know?
Well, what he did, first of all, he goes, you haven't chucked that bloke out, have you? And he just took it... this was in the middle of...
it was in the middle of the set. I don't exactly remember.
It was in between the songs,
the
to be fair, but he took his bass off and then immediately went out the fire exit, jumped the fire exit near the ladies' toilets, to go outside and like maybe try and find the bloke that they chucked out. And he came back in and went on back on the stage and was like, they're letting him back in. Everyone went, hey!
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. I think they only had like one security guy on the barrier.
Yeah, and then I think they chucked out another bloke and he gave out about that again. I think you could tell that it kind of got to him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think you'll maybe see Marmoset's playing this venue again. Obviously the point of this comeback tour was to play smaller venues that they haven't played for a while,
so therefore the crowd were absolutely mental.
Oh my goodness, yeah, honestly it was absolutely sweaty in there, kind of had Underworld vibes, and it was so warm in there that there was condensation dripping off of the ceiling. It was so hot, honestly.
It was disgusting.
I kind of wish I was wearing shorts, to be honest with you, but no, like the crowd were absolutely up for it, and I got in and out of the pit so much that gig.
Well, the moment they started play, you were like, I'm getting in there, hold my glasses.
I specifically brought my glasses case because I have a couple of pairs of glasses, but like these are the ones that I wear all the time. They're my comfort ones, and I didn't want them to break, obviously.
Well, you don't really do you have gig glasses still? No, you broke them, didn't you? At the
they got broken at Tesseract, like
that's right. Ago. It was Tesseract, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm taking good care of these ones. So yeah, I was in and out of the pit during Marmoset's, and yeah, it was so much fun.
I think the main ones were you were in there for play, and you were in
play,
there for
Move, Shake, Hide, and then the like last two songs of the set.
Major System Era went off.
Era was so what a closer, by the way. Like
no, it was a fantastic. I would have liked Run with the Rhythm to be in there as well.
Yeah, I think that's my only complaint is that I would like to have something like that.
But I love their new single, especially
New York.
Well, especially You Want the Truth. You Want the Truth is so unbelievably catchy.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about it on the way home from the gig. We're already thinking that could be like a really strong contender for like Song of the Year.
Oh, already. 100%.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
Not going to get ahead of ourselves. But what we might get ahead of ourselves with is that supposedly they've been dropping hints that they might be
at 2,000
trees this year.
Yeah, they didn't mention anything like that at Dingwalls, but it's been heavily rumoured that they have been dropping hints.
And I think we're both in agreement, right, that they will be a perfect headliner for the Cave.
Absolutely, but obviously we're going to have to wait for official
confirmation. But let's not speculate too much in case we're disappointed in it.
But yeah, before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to their one and only support band, Goo.
Absolutely,
They were brilliant, and I think within the first two songs, I think I turned to you and I said, is it wrong to say that they have Milk Teeth vibes?
And immediately I was like, yeah.
And literally, when I messaged like our group of friends about it, who'd already been on this tour, they all agreed. They were like, yes, like literally they have that vibe about them. But
R.I.P. Milk Teeth.
R.I.P. Milk Teeth.
We have to get it in there as always whenever we mention
But no, like Goo are self-releasing an album this year, so we're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on them. But they were really, really good.
I think you said one of their songs reminds you of a Pink melody as
well. There was like a few melodies that were like really like, you know, significant for me, and I'm like,
But yeah, female lead singer, properly grungy vibes, but also a bit melodic, bit Indian parts. They had a guy who was their backline technician who was also playing the cowbell. Which was also brilliant.
Shout out to the drummer as well, because one of their songs like changed his time signature like a few times.
And he was the one who was like doing all the harmonies, right?
He was doing all the harmonies with like the lead singer, and again those harmonies were on point.
They are a band that if they haven't played 2,000 Trees already, I reckon they'd be tailor made for them because they've got that vibe.
Sure. I really enjoyed them. But yeah, Marmoset's first gig of the year, and it set the bar nicely.
We're off to a corker. We're off to a corker.
So in terms of other gigs that we're planning to go to, so far for me, I've not booked that many. I've got the Covey next week in Nottingham, which I'm very excited for. It's sort of a continuation of their current album's cycle of touring, if you like. We've also got Creeper.
You've got Creeper.
I've got Creeper. Sorry, I should rephrase that. I've got Creeper. But other than that, the only other things in my calendar are all festivals, which we will get to later on in the podcast.
Yeah. But just a quick one about Vukovi. So
yes,
off the top of your head, how many times would you have seen them at this point?
I think that this show is going to be my 8th or 9th Vukovi show.
Yeah.
And it's not the last that I'm going to be seeing them this year, which we'll get to later. But yeah, this is going to be at Rescue Rooms in Nottingham. One of my favourite venues in the country, and I'm not just saying that because I was born and raised in Nottingham, so I know all the venues there.
Really
obviously
small. Well, not really small, but
it's.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely mid-size, low to
absolutely,
mid-size.
but. Yeah, I've got a few friends who are going to this show, so I'm very excited. But yeah, like I say, other than Vukovi and Creeper, I haven't got any standalone gigs just yet.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I've got my eye on is the Biffy Clyro show at Finsbury Park in July.
Oh, yes.
Which has Nothing But Thieves, Don Broco and Marmozets as well.
Well, that's not the only one. Aren't Wolf Alice playing a show?
They are, and it's
around the same time.
But it's around the same time. But I'm not sure if I can make that show. I double checked the dates and what I've got on, and I don't think I can actually go.
Sure.
So
but the support, I mean, the supports are you to a T. It's Nothing But Thieves, Broken.
I know.
Marmozets,
I absolutely love all three of those
all three of
bands,
those,
and it's
yeah.
an excuse to say I've finally seen Biffy Clyro. But yeah, because of like how much we're trying to like save money and stuff. I don't really have a lot of standalone gigs this year, so I'm taking full advantage of like the festivals this year, I think.
Yeah. Just going back to Creeper quickly.
Yes.
This is Is this the last sort of run of their Sanguivore era?
Quite possibly, because for anyone who doesn't know, Creeper are only playing stuff off of the Sanguivore albums on this tour. They're not playing anything from the first two albums as well. So this is and they've already said that they're going to be playing like Razor Wire on this tour, and I'm like, yes, that's one of my favourite songs off of Sanguivore 2.
I really like Sanguivore 2.
But yeah, I feel
even
like
though I'm not the biggest Creeper fan in the world, I think Sanguivore 2 was brilliant.
But yeah, I feel like this like tour, because they've already said they're doing it in Europe as well. This might be like the last run of like the Sanguivore era, and then they'll probably go away for a couple of years and then come back with something new.
Do you think Will bring Salem back?
I don't know. I think at this point, is like the Creeper stuff is just priority, yeah, for sure. But anyway, that's enough about like my sort of gigs and planned for this year. What are your gigs that I'm not going to?
well, like you, I have very few bits in the pipeline. I do want to give a shout out first off to a band called Hollow Kid, who Dan, you might have seen in our Slayer vlog and our Bloodstock vlog. He's the drummer for.
Yeah.
And they're playing a gig at the Fiddler's Elbow in Camden in February, where it's their chance to actually play the Isle of Wight.
The Isle of Wight.
Keep that in. That's brilliant. The Isle of Wight Festival, which obviously, still a big institution in Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them. They're a solid band. They're kind of bluesy, kind of hard rock, kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Female lead singer. Obviously, Dan's a fantastic drummer. I've specifically booked the day off work to go and see. Him. We both work at the same company, so we both kind of got the day off. Fiddler's Elbow in Camden. Looking forward to that one. I should probably get my tickets for that, actually.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
It's not a very big venue. And then other than that, I've got basically the same weekend, the same day.
The same day that I'm at
Vukovi. I'm going to a Metal to the Masses in Nottingham for at the Tap and Tumbler, which will be. I don't think it's the first round. I think there's already been a couple.
No, there's already been a couple of rounds for Metal to the Masses.
But I always said to myself, I want to get down to more of these Metal to the Masses shows because they're great showcases for unsigned up and coming acts that have the potential to play Bloodstock, and I think it's very important we kind of keep that grassroots element in metal, especially with the constant threat of closure looming over venues. I think it's important to kind of keep up appearances, if you like, which I'm trying to do. And also a friend of mine is probably going to be the judge there as well.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. So.
And then the only other one I have definitely got booked in for this year, in terms of single gigs, it's Deftones at Victoria Park.
Yes. Now this is kind of like it's not All Points East, is it?
It's All Points East and Outbreak
Yeah.
Festival doing a collaboration.
Yeah, and they're kind of doing a few of these this year, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's we'll get on to Outbreak Festival later, but basically, yeah, 23rd of August, it's a Sunday, so it's not the most ideal
Yeah.
time to go into London for a gig, really. The support is pretty incredible, really.
I know, yeah. I'm just looking at it on the screen now.
It's essentially a mini festival, I would say.
Yeah,
if
yeah. I
anything.
mean, they're doing a few of these. Like, I know that...
And they're going to announce more artists in addition
Yeah.
to the ones they have on the poster.
yeah,
already.
I know that, like, 21 Pilots are doing one of these. I think the Biffy Clyro one is technically like a day festival type of vibe.
So I
But
did send you the 21 Pilots one as well.
Yeah, 'cause
I know they're one of your favourites.
yeah, I do need to catch them live at some point in my life. But going back to Deftones, like, you can see here, like, Basement, Deaf Heaven, Amil and the Sniffers is the one for me that if I was to go to this with you,
Yeah.
I would be very excited to see Amil again.
I've seen him a couple of times. We saw him supporting Green Day and
Liam
supporting
Gallagher.
Liam Gallagher, which
Yeah.
is obviously two different... And Deftones. So there's like
Yeah.
3 different acts that I really love, but they're all across the kind of spectrum of rock music.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'll just chuck Amel and the Sniffers in there. They'll
Yeah.
get a crowd going.
they absolutely will. Like, Amil is great.
I
live.
do like them a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And Idols, who I've still not seen live yet.
No, they were one of the headliners at our very first 2000 Trees, but we decided not to go to
Yeah,
watch
we
them.
decided to just chill. On
We
the top of
chilled
the
at
hill.
camp. You could hear them from camp.
You can still hear them anyway.
Yeah.
I think at that point I wasn't as into them. I think they've grown on me, you know.
Yeah. And again, they'll definitely get the crowd like really warmed up for Deftones.
I know
as
they're
well.
not everyone's cup of tea, you know, and it's a bit of a weird mismatch of styles with them and Deftones, but like, you know, it's a festival, isn't it? You
Yeah, that's what I mean. Treat it like a day festival. You're going to see loads of different genres of music represented.
Absolutely. I mean, and Deaf Heaven, you know, I know that their album from last year made it into a lot of people's top album lists.
Yeah.
I never got a chance
Private
to listen to
music,
it,
yeah.
but I know I'm a bit funny with black gaze, as the genre's called, black metal and shoegaze combined. I love Alcest.
Yeah.
Deaf Heaven, not so much. They kind of, I think their vocals are a little bit too harsh for me,
Yeah.
which is, you know, call me whatever you want with that, but I think there's a certain balancing act I like with my black gaze.
Yeah.
I like the Deaf Heaven album they released during, I think it's called Infinite Granite, where
Yeah,
they
that
move more
does
towards
ring
the
a bell.
melodic side of things.
Yeah.
Basement are obviously, I'm so stoked about the fact that I might be seeing them 3 times.
Yes,
In
which
one
we're
year.
going to get to next, I think.
And then Show Me the Body are pretty good. And then there's
There's a
ano-
few on here that
there's a
I
few
think
on here
might
which I've
not be
never-
your vibe.
Well, it's JPEG Mafia, SD Kid, and Yusuke Yukimatsu, who I think are like hip hop,
yeah.
I guess.
But again, that kind of...
But it says more artists to be announced.
Yeah,
So,
so we're going to have to wait and see.
yeah. But yeah, Deftones are Deftones. You guys surely know at this point how much of a massive Deftones fan I am. And it's been
Yeah.
so long since I've seen them live, and I can't wait.
Yes. Okay, so that's all the gigs that we are planning at the moment to go to. So let's talk about the festivals, because
Yes,
there
let's.
have been a few updates to this
Definitely.
that we should probably talk about.
Well, essentially, I think we have solidified which festivals we're going to this year.
Yes.
They're set in stone now, and I don't think we're going to add anything to it or change anything.
Yeah, I agree. Purely on the basis of, like we said, we are planning to, you know, save money and stuff for this year. So let's go chronologically. So our first festival that we will be going to this year, this may come as a surprise based on the video that we did about it.
Yes.
Slam Dunk Festival.
We
We
got
are
our tickets.
going.
We got our tickets recently.
Yep.
I mean, I think there was a few other things in motion that meant we probably couldn't have done it. But
Yes.
now that we've clarified what those events are,
Yes.
we're fully on board. I think.
Yes. So we are happy to announce that we will be at Slam Dunk South this year.
Yes.
Specifically. As per usual with Slam Dunk, I will be driving because
Yes.
we've got places to go to the following day. So we might not be around for the whole day of the festival. We're not obviously sure yet because we
No.
haven't got a Clash Finder or anything.
I mean,
But-
you like Good Charlotte, right? But
I do, yeah.
I'm not too keen.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Good Charlotte before, so I'd be happy to like watch a little bit of their set and then leave. But
I might watch Sublime as my.
well, I
as
feel
my
like
headline.
I feel like going to the lineup. I feel like we're probably mostly going to be at the quote unquote heavy stage, like the back to back stuff. But there are definitely a few bands in here that the more that we've sat on this lineup, the more I'm like, okay, we kind of do need to go.
I mean, there's so many of our. There's so many of our personal favourites in there. Like my personal favourites, you've got the Menzingers, you've got People, you've got Malevolence, you've got Guilt Trip, Angel Dust, Goldfinger. I really liked when I last saw them there. Cancer Bats.
Yeah, we're going to be
Origami Angel, who I've never seen.
Yeah.
Like, we are stacked.
We are very much stacked.
And then as for you,
for me, I mean, like Vakovia there. People, like you say, Tonight Alive, which I'm very excited for.
You want Barrier for
I think, yeah, that's like the one that I'm like most excited for. Obviously, Harriet are there, who we've seen before.
Dying Wish
are there, who are a band that I've been dying to see. Pest Control are also at Slam Dunk, so I'll get my chance to see them finally.
Yeah, when I said to Laura that that Sarah got me a last minute ticket for Vesca, I don't think you were best pleased.
I was very jealous. I wouldn't have been able to have made it anyway because I was elsewhere that day. But but yeah, going back to this, Knock Loose as well. It'd be great to see them again. Boston Manor, who we saw at Download, I'd like to see them again.
They're great. Yeah.
And I think my sort of like quote unquote flashback band that I'm very excited to catch at Slam Dunk is Medina Lake.
Do you think you want to?
I 100% want to catch them. Like, a few years ago when we, the in crowd, were there, I was like, I don't care what's on, I need to go and watch them because I never saw them live when they were around, like for the first time. And Medina Lake is one of those bands, weirdly enough, where like I liked their music when I was growing up as a teenager. Sure. Never saw them live before in my life.
Like
now this is my chance.
Yeah. Like even Dead Pony are on here, whose last song I really...
Yeah, we listened to their latest single, and yeah, sounds pretty good. But yeah,
it's stacked.
It's absolutely stacked.
Across the board.
I definitely have said already as well that, like, I feel like if there's a clash between some favourites, like Harriet, for example, I feel like I may have to make a couple of sacrifices to see other bands that I've not seen before. Do you know what I mean?
But I think the great thing is, there's two brilliant things about this. The fact we've had an entire year off of not going to Slam Dunk.
Yeah, we've not been to Slam Dunk since 2024.
Yeah, where we vlogged it. And it's going to be interesting and quite exciting to see what improvements they made, if any, or if they've just...
stuck with the winning formula that they had.
And just ironed out some of the little creases.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that there are definitely a few bands here that have some crossovers with some other festivals that we're going to. So whenever... if we can't see a band like on this stage in lieu of another act performing at the same time, then that's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly, because we've got another couple of festivals that we will be going to this year.
Which brings us on to...
Outbreak. So, they have recently released their day splits, their Friday lineup as well, and a couple of new names have been added to Outbreak as well, with more to come. Now, we should point out that the Friday is not really for us.
No.
We didn't buy a Friday ticket anyway, so win-win. So we're probably going to spend the Friday hanging out in Manchester with our friends.
Yeah, so it's the Front Bottoms headlining. Balance and Composure, Tiger's Jaw, Free Throw and Pool Kids. I quite like Free Throw and Pool Kids, but I believe they are at another festival that we're planning to attend.
Yes, I believe so.
And I like Balance and Composure, but... yeah, I'm fine with missing out on them, I'm so excited. This is one that we have talked about attending for years, right?
Yeah, we've been saying for a while that we want to go to this festival at some stage, and we've pulled the trigger for this year, basically.
It's the only festival I've ever been to where I've had to sign a waiver before attending.
Yeah, we did mention that when we announced that we were going to Outbreak for the first time.
I'm both scared and very excited in equal measure. I need to get my gains in.
Yes. So off of memory, trying to sort of memorize who has been added. Knives were not on the original announcement when we discussed it before, and they've been added to Saturday.
Last year, right?
It wasn't last year. I think it was the year before that I saw them at Trees. I can't quite remember, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing them again, live in the flesh. I think Blanket are another one that weren't on the original. I don't think they were on the original lineup.
They weren't, no.
So again, they're on the Saturday. Very much looking forward to seeing them.
Greek Death. Greek Death actually released one of my favourite albums from last year. They are kind of, I mean, they're right up Rob's alley. They're kind of indie rock / shoegaze again. So
yeah,
you know.
But yeah, the Saturday's looking really good. You know,
Love Is Noise are also been added.
Yes.
We'll get hopefully that redemption arc from 2000 Trees last year that we've been mentioning.
But yeah,
all their equipment failed on them.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like the Saturday's looking really solid. Like Alexis on Fire, High Vis, Higher Power.
One name I did want to mention that's only just been added.
Oh, is this another new one? Okay.
Yeah, this is another new one. 90s alt metal legends, Quicksand. Now, if you don't know Quicksand, they're kind of like, I guess, pioneers of that kind of 90s post-hardcore alt metal sound. Their bass player, Sergio Vega, was in Deftones for a long time. And yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole other much about them other than that, but like, I'm very much excited and intrigued by the prospect of them being on the lineup.
Yeah. So if we look at Sunday, again, I'm not 100% sure who the newer acts are on here.
Well, there's Snail Mail, who... I have no idea who Snail... I'm actually going to look them up right now to see what sort of vibe they are. It looks like that...
sort of indie rock emo.
It looks like a solo project.
Yeah.
It's a woman called Lindsay Erin Jordan, and it's an indie rock project. So
if that is the right one,
indie
then...
rock / emo. But that's what I like about Outbreak. It's not just pure hardcore. They add like, they've got shoegaze in there. They've got indie rock in there. It's going to be interesting.
But yeah,
if that's the right Snail Mail.
Yeah, but obviously,
I apologise if it's not.
Yeah. So the Sunday is obviously being headlined by Basement, who we mentioned prior.
Brilliant.
We've got Suicidal Tendencies. We've got Hatebreed, Trapped Under Ice. We've got Fiddlehead.
I think Nothing was not on there before.
No, Nothing were there on the original announcement.
Were they on the original?
Yep,
or was that the other festival that's weird?
No, I think oh yeah, maybe actually. I
so
can't
again,
remember.
another crossover there.
Yeah, Harm's Way, who I think we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just very much looking forward to our first experience of Outbreak. Obviously, like I say, you know, we've got quite a few friends going to this one, so it should be an absolute blast in Manchester.
100%.
Right, so before we move on to our final festival that we are going to, because we have spoken about the fact that we are going to this festival already, we are not going to be going to Download. I think that is kind of set in stone now.
It's a shame, really, but I don't think we can justify four festivals
in a whole year.
In a whole year.
When we're trying to do other things on the side.
You did, I mean, the thing about trying to save money is you've got to pick and choose what your festivals are.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to have seen Limp Bizkit headline
and Linkin Park for me,
who I've never seen, maybe we could still do a day one potentially, but like even then,
it's a little bit tight. I think
it could be a little bit tight. So we're definitely not going to be doing a whole weekend of Download. I don't think. I think that's set in stone.
Yeah.
Unless anyone who's very nice out there can give us a free comp or something, but no.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But obviously, you guys know which other festival we're going to. We've spoken about this festival before. So our third and final festival for 2026 will be the glorious 2000 Trees.
It had to be, didn't it?
Now, there's been no new announcements for Trees just yet. However, I think there is one pending in the next week or two.
Is that right?
I believe so. So we're not going to go through the entire lineup again because we've done that before on the podcast.
Yes.
But you guys know that we absolutely love Trees. Actually, I tell a lie, there is one new band that has been added to Trees, and that is Arcane Roots.
Yes,
they are the most recent officially confirmed band for Trees. And I want to say that they are headlining the Axiom. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, you're probably right. So Arcane Roots, they basically were synonymous with 2000 Trees for years before they broke up. Like 2, 3, 4 years ago, I don't even know. They broke up, basically.
Yeah.
I know they did they collaborated with a song with Jamie Lenman. I heard a bunch of stuff here and there when I was preparing to go to my first 2000 trees, and they sounded good. They sounded pretty decent.
I know a lot of people are very excited for their return. One of my Pokemon friends, shout out Jamie, has specifically said that he may actually just go just for them, but we'll see.
But they fit the vibe to a T, don't they? They're kind of like slightly proggy, but kind of indie as well, and a bit ethereal sounding.
But yeah, we will, as soon as there is any more updates to the trees announcement, the trees lineup even, we will probably do a separate video on that. Because,
maybe we could do a reaction video to the new announcements.
We don't know for sure when that's happening, but like I say, I think there is a new update to the trees lineup pending.
Sure.
So we'll wait and see on that.
Yeah. But speaking of our channel, I think now's probably a good time to talk about what our plans are for the channel going forward.
Yes, specifically for this year, but maybe a little bit beyond this year as well.
We've last year obviously was very vlog heavy.
Yes, we had a lot of gig vlogs every month. We had the festival vlogs. We had the podcasts. That was like the main crux of what we were doing.
I think this year the priority going forward is going to be the focus is going to shift for us. Less on vlogs.
Yeah, the gig vlogs in particular are the ones that we are pointing out here. You're still going to get vlogs from the festivals we're attending, so we're going to do a Slam Dunk vlog, we'll do a Trees vlog, and of course we'll do Outbreak, as those are the three festivals.
And then maybe one other one which is, I don't know if we want to say what the other one that we're going to be doing.
Yes, so we are going to another day festival in April. We will probably cover that potentially.
We'll keep that under wraps.
Keep that under wraps for now, just in case. But the vlogs for the festivals are still happening, but going forward, gig vlogs are not going to come out monthly.
No, and they're not going to take precedent either.
No, I think they're going to be very much more for special occasions, if you like.
It was rewarding, getting those out and getting them done, but I don't think they haven't been doing anywhere near as well as our festival vlogs or even our reaction content.
Exactly.
And I think, as much as I want to do the whole, I don't want to be the whole, oh, you're only in this for views or whatever. It's like...
It's not just that, though. Like, we take time out of our evenings...
Yeah, to edit this.
To edit all of the stuff that we get done.
And the last thing I want to do during a gig and afterwards is to kind of focus on... kind of only focus on making good content and making good shots.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be in the moment. And
Exactly. So, like, for Marmozets, for example, we got some videos for ourselves and some of them did go up on the Instagram.
Yeah. Which obviously, that kind of probably leads into the fact that we're going to also focus on maybe shorter form content.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like, we're not going to be posting like daily on like Instagram, for example.
Or TikTok.
TikTok, which we don't even have.
No, well, I don't even have a TikTok. Do you?
I have a TikTok, but I don't even use it. So I only have it to follow my friend who does TikTok content.
Well, analytics and insights wise, I think TikTok and Instagram shorts and YouTube shorts are where it's at when it comes to views, because the attention span of people who watch YouTube aren't as, our vlogs are bloody long, and we put a lot of time and effort into them.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's still a home for them.
Yeah, and also, I'm not saying that we're not going to put just as much effort into the other stuff we do.
Yeah.
But I do think that, looking at SMTV, for example, Stu, his...
Short form content
does really, really well for him.
Yeah.
And who else? A bunch of Mead and Metal have recently gone into the YouTube Shorts thing, and those are getting quite good views as well. So I don't know. Maybe we dip our toe into that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It's experiment. We're experimenting.
Yeah, it's going to be an experimental year. Because another thing that we would like to do, and we've said it before on the podcast, we would like to do sort of like video essay type videos where we take a topic and we write a script about it. And
obviously that's going to be the thing that takes up a lot of time, is writing tightly formatted scripts and running with it. I've noticed Chids, Ben Chids Vids, legend of festival and gig vlogging. he's also moved away from the gig vlogging stuff, and he kind of does.
He kind of incorporates it in like a weekly vlog.
Yeah, he incorporates it in a
thing.
weekly vlog, but also he's recently started doing DVD reviews.
Yeah,
and
on a separate channel.
The intros to each video he does recently are very, they're tightly scripted and they're really funny, and it's kind of a bit unlike his more spontaneous kind of.
Yeah, we have, for the record, we've been really enjoying his like DVD content.
Shout out to
it's kind of like just moving away from music briefly. It's kind of like made us sort of reevaluate sort of our physical media collection, and
100%.
We're kind of getting back into that low key.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to do like some charity shop raids over the course of the year.
Yeah, it's
also to save
us.
money, but also to expand our film collection, which has been dwindling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got rid of a lot of my stuff before we moved into where we currently live.
Yeah. And even our friend Mr. Bond, Simon, he's got a new channel which focuses on DVDs
it's very
his
cool.
collection stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think the point I'm trying to get at is we may be branching out with certain content and have it more tightly scripted, bit less spontaneous, bit more kind of stuff that quirky things that people would want to watch.
Yeah, so like vlogs, so like one of the ideas that I had, and again, I think I've briefly mentioned it on the podcast, but I mentioned it again on the walk home the other day. We're thinking of doing like a tier list of like kings and queens of rock and metal. We're gonna essentially, I don't want to spoil it too much, but like, I've mentioned that like, Hayley Williams is like one of my favorite like people of all time, I guess. Yeah. And she's like Queen Hayley and like Queen Janine.
I think it stemmed from the fact that we were coming out of Marmozets, and I said to Laura, so do you consider Becca to be queen status yet?
Yeah, so that's kind of where that came from.
And that's where that idea kind of
But I don't want
to
ruin it too much, because that is probably something that we will be doing.
Yes, I also don't want to, give too much away about what we are playing, but I will say, some of my favourite YouTube videos are like stuff by Elliot Roberts and Al Ewan, Wrestle Talk, guys that do lists. And do evaluations of stuff, but not like really cool, tightly scripted evaluations with cutaways and content. So like there's a few inspirations behind this. I think it could do us good to kind of shift direction a little bit.
Yeah, and I think just again, sort of looking forward to the future. I don't want to like say this set in stone fully. But I think for me personally, next year, so 2027, I think I'm taking a year out of going to festivals.
Yeah.
I think, again, with the stuff that we have planned behind the scenes away from this channel and just in our personal lives, I think that having a year out and just having a break would be nice. So then we can come back and do all that stuff. Obviously, that's just for me personally.
Yeah, I'm not
sure. Necessarily if Rob's on board with that.
I love music and I love going to gigs. I maybe could do with maybe just taking a hiatus, but I would just miss it so much.
I know, yeah. So that's the thing. Like, for me as well, I've been...
lockdown was my hiatus from gigs. And it was
tough.
Imposed, hiatus. It wasn't of my own free will.
But like, obviously, just going back to me personally, towards the end of last year, I was going to a lot more, like, football matches and stuff, and this year it's not stopping.
No,
until
like
the end of the
football,
season. Yeah, like, literally, I've got a couple more games booked in for the Chelsea women. The Chelsea men is a little bit more sporadic, because I just have to go when I can get a ticket for it, because I've only got a membership. But for the women, I'm very much enjoying going to those games. I mean,
but also you're well back into going to your Pokemon tournaments again.
But again, like that's kind of going to be taking a backseat again from next season.
Do you think?
Yeah. Again, like just sort of what we've got planned. I think, just having a bit of a break from things to get things in order in my personal life, and then.
Yeah, I think so. So. I guess what we said, we can't guarantee about the regularity of the videos that we're going to try and put out.
It's more sort of like quality over quantity, I think, this year.
100%.
That's sort of the TLDR.
This is going to be our experimental phase of our career. You know,
Yeah.
this is going to be the Saint Anger year.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. Saint
Maybe
Anger.
not
That's
that
a bad
much.
example.
Yeah, that's a terrible
This
example.
is going to be the Gore year. That might
Yes.
be another terrible example. not many Deftones fans like that, I reckon, but
No.
it's the experimental year. We're going
Yeah.
to try out some stuff. And
Yeah, and of course we're still going to be keeping, like I say, the
yeah, we're
festival
still keeping the
vlogs.
festival vlogs. We're still going to be doing reaction videos and possibly, I don't know, packing vlogs, I guess, might make a return.
Yeah. And obviously we're still going to be doing the podcast as well, just to get some creative juices
100%.
out.
And
you know?
get our feelings out as well about how things are going.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to go off on before we wrap this up.
Yes.
Albums that we're most excited for in 2026.
Yes, because they, this year obviously it's still sort of being worked out for in terms of like, a lot of the bands, they're keeping cards close to their chest. But in terms of the albums that we already know that are coming out this year, for me, obviously the Marmoset album, cannot wait for that to come out, as we mentioned before. Poppy's new album, I've not listened to that yet, but I'm looking forward to sort of hearing that for the first time.
Have you heard the singles from it?
I've heard a few singles, and I'm very much intrigued into seeing how it's going to be as a whole package, essentially.
Yeah, Empty Hands.
Yes, that's the name of the album. I'm also looking forward to hearing the new Yonica album. Again, that's a sort of a band that have been away for a little bit. And that is coming out on the 13th of March. It's called Hope You're Satisfied. Again, a couple of the singles haven't really gelled with me just yet, but one of the singles called Hit Me When I'm Sore, love that one. I hope that there's a lot of stuff like that on the album.
See, I don't know much about Yonica. I know they're one of your favourites. Was that more of a sort of classic slice of their style?
I would say that, but with a few newer elements to it as well, you know. And then a couple more bands that have recently announced stuff. Holding Absence people are back. Now, I just remembered that when I was talking about gigs earlier, I forgot to mention about Enter Shikari at Ali Pali. So that might also be a possibility. If I can get a ticket, because I feel like they may have already sold out.
I feel like they've gone like hotcakes, those ones.
Yeah,
to be fair.
but yeah, it's like Shikari and Holding Absence are announced as one of the supports for that tour cycle, which obviously makes me think that Holding Absence have some new material for this year.
They've had a turbulent last couple of years. Holding Absence, their drummer left, Ashley, and
obviously we've had Lucas filling in.
Lucas has been filling in for Funeral for a Friend. Yeah. But I've got to say, I'm also very, very stoked that we're getting another album from them.
They kind of teased it, didn't they, that they're coming back for this year. So hopefully it means a new album.
They're wonderfully consistent, Holding Absence. I don't think there's been a record I've heard from them that I haven't liked.
True.
Obviously,
very consistent.
my favourite is The Greatest Mistake of My Life, I think.
Yeah.
Just
back to front,
endlessly catchy stuff. Although the last one I enjoyed as well, with Angel and the Marble and Crooked Melody.
Oh, that's a staple now in their sets for me.
Really cool emotional songwriting, and Lucas's voice. For my mind, he's still one of the best singers we've got in the scene at the moment.
Yeah.
We met them and their sound guys.
But hopefully there'll be a few more like bands that I like that are going to announce stuff. But one final thing that I'm very much intrigued to hear about, it was recently announced by Hayley Williams, the Queen herself,
the
ultimate queen. She has launched a brand new band called Power Snatch. And it's with her longtime collaborator Daniel James, who is actually nominated at the Grammys for Ego Death at the Bachelorette Party.
Which is an album you love,
Which is an album that I absolutely love. And again, that's been highly nominated at the Grammys. So I'm very much, happy for that. But they teased a song, I think it was on Zane Lowe or something. And it was called Assignment. But if you dig around on Bandcamp, there is a song from like a few months ago called DMs, and it's going to be very interesting to hear where this project goes. It's very much shoegazy, grungy kind of vibes, very much different from This Is Why, if we're going to talk about Paramore and her solo projects as well.
Well, I think you can hear elements of that sort of style on Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party on
Yeah.
some of the songs.
Yeah, when you think about Metazapine, actually, that has very grungy guitars.
Yeah, I like that though, because obviously I'm a big grunge / shoegaze guy. I'm delighted the fact that she's seemingly going in this sort of direction, but I also like the fact that Hayley always, well, not always, but as of late, especially for Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, she doesn't do the traditional releasing format.
No,
really.
she does it how she likes
Yeah.
because she's got so much of a following that she can just release anything that she likes at any time.
They're sort of quite the way she's been releasing like these last two projects. It's very kind of quirky and clandestine, and through Bandcamp. It's like an artist of her stature. They usually have big press releases and this, that,
or
and
they
the
do the whole blackout of social media.
Yeah.
As a little teaser, but not Hayley. No, she'll either hand in a CD to a radio station, which is what she did for Metazapine.
Yeah.
She handed it to a local radio station in Nashville and was like, "Here's my new single," But yeah, like it's gonna be very much. It's gonna be very interesting to sort of see where this project goes. There's a little quote here that Rob's just pulled up for me. And Hayley basically said, "It's okay that it's me by myself and not Paramore right now. Paramore will always have its time because it's just what we do. We cycle it back in and out of it. We resent. There we go. We resent it 1 minute. We want to wear matching clothes in the next minute." So I think basically what she's saying is she's like, this is where I'm at now in my creative cycle.
Juices, yes.
And my juices are flowing for the solo material. So I wouldn't be too worried if you're a Paramore fan like myself in that, it's not Paramore music that she's releasing. I think it's good that she's sort of spreading her wings onto her own solo stuff because, if we go back to the first solo album, Petals for Armour, that kind of came out in COVID. Again, that was sort of her creative outlet at the time. And that album still holds up, like, really, really well, even 6 years on,
It's not like she's got anything to prove with Paramore anymore.
No.
So she can afford to, like, lend her efforts to other
and I think it's nice as well that obviously the lads get to do what they want as well. Like Zach's got his own project. I'm sure that Taylor will be in and out of production with some of her stuff as well. But yeah, it just makes me interested to see as well, like how far this Power Snatch project will go. Whether she'll tour it as well. Obviously, we've got the Ego Death at the Bachelorette Party world tour this year, which I'm still sad that I'm not going to. So if anyone somehow has a ticket,
free comps
in the UK, like if anyone knows anyone who has a spare that isn't a bot,
invite your girl.
Please. I just want to be at that show. I was so sad when I couldn't get tickets for the Roundhouse. Sorry, not tickets. Ticket, because I am just going me, myself, and I.
Yes.
But anyway, that is like all the albums that, well, at the moment, like, I'm excited for this year that we kind of know about. So, what about you? What have you got your eye on for this year?
I mean, obviously, like you said, it's early in the year. There's a few, everyone's keeping their cards close to their chests, like you said, and not everything has come out about specific release dates. There's a few things I've heard in the works, though. Mastodon, who obviously, I think we're both fans of.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge Mastodon fan. They have pretty much confirmed last year when we saw them with Slayer, right, that they're working on a new album.
That also reminds me that like Anthrax might be releasing new stuff this year.
Potentially,
as
well. Mastodon, obviously they've been through a hell of a lot in the last year. Last year was probably their worst year as a band because of the death of Brent Hines and obviously all the stuff before he was sacked that was following around. So the fact they've come out the other side with a new record is really quite a good thing, And the new guy they've got as a lead guitar player, I could tell watching him both supporting Slayer and at Bloodstock that he has the chops. Whether he, can sing quite well as well, I don't know. It's a Mastodon record, I'll probably, the last one was probably
Hushed and Grim.
Yeah,
right?
Hushed and Grim was. I'll probably need to revisit that because
I enjoyed it.
I wasn't too hot. Maybe just because of the length of it. It was so long. It was like a double album. Really, really loved Once More Around the Sun and Crack the Sky. And Emperor of Sand definitely had his moments. The Hunter is a very slept on record. Any elements that they could put into this new record from those, I'll probably lap it up, you know?
Yeah.
Next band I've got on my list is very intriguing, actually. So this is a supergroup that's been around since the mid-90s, and they're called Down.
Yes.
So Down consists of Phil Anselmo from Pantera, Pepper Keenan from Corrosion of Conformity, and Kirk Windstein from Crowbar.
Yes.
So, I mean, you want heavy. You're going to get heavy. Nice and sludgy heaviness. It's their first album, and I think they've confirmed on their socials that they've finished it since 2007.
Crazy.
They've been, obviously, it's not their main project, you know.
Yeah.
Phil's got Pantera, Kirk's got Crowbar. You know, Corrosion of Conformity came back recently with Pepper, and he's put his attention onto that. I'm really stoked about this. I might be in a minority here. I mean, they released some EPs as well, but the last EP they released was in 2014, so that's over 10 years ago now. I'm just, anytime I can hear sludgy Louisiana guitars and, you know, the riffs that Kirk and Pepper bring to the project, and Phil's vocals, obviously, that just, I'll lap it up again, like I said. And, you know, hopefully this means that they can come back round to tour the UK as part of the promotion.
That is highly likely, you know.
And I'll probably go and see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of heavy, we also, I mean, pretty much, I would say, when I talked to Milo, the vocalist of this band at Bloodstock last year about it, he pretty much said that, we'll be working on this album next year. So whether it comes out this year, I don't know.
I mean, let's hope so.
Hopefully, you know, fingers firmly crossed that this is hopefully going to happen, because I think we are due one. Again, the last Fear Factory album that came out was in 2021, but I don't know, the controversy surrounding it, you know, with the fact that it was Burton's vocals from 2017 pasted over Dino's guitars from 2020 or whatever it was.
Didn't really
sit too well with me, you know, so I haven't really revisited that record. I think the last true one collaboratively that they did was 2015's Genexus, which again, over 10 years ago. So it'll be nice to have a Fear Factory record where every member will be on the same page.
Yeah.
And I think the creative catalyst will, you know, it'll hopefully get the engines turning.
Yeah.
And some good music will come out of that. And I think Milo is an incredible vocalist and a great choice to fill in for Burton. I can't wait to hear what he brings to the table in the studio.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to sort of hear like his own vocals on like sort of his own songs that he's helped write and worked with.
Yeah.
Rather than singing a different singer's songs. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that.
And also, I think the other thing that really, really makes this record quite important this year for me is the rise of AI and the rise of machines taking over, which is something that Fear Factory have been singing about for their entire career.
Yeah,
it's particularly prevalent this year.
Circle thing.
It's a full circle thing. It's going to be particularly prevalent this year.
Yes.
I am so stoked to hear what they're going to do with that, whether they're going to make their album based around the danger of AI taking over creative, you know, arts and stuff. Yeah, that actually, the more I talk about it, the more
you're getting intrigued by
it. This is exactly the right time to release a new Fear Factory record with, you know, all this AI, you know, stuff. What they call it, AI slop springing up out of nowhere. Fuck AI, by the way. I just want to reiterate that. Burn Eternal. This, in case you don't know, is Howard Jones and Adam Duckowitz's new band.
From Killswitch Engage,
both
of course.
From Killswitch Engage. Obviously, Howard
X for Howard,
Engage. A lot of old school Killswitch Engage fans, or when I say old school, a lot of Killswitch Engage fans that came of age during their peak, shall we say, around the mid-2000s, will be delighted by this news.
Yeah. I'm very much intrigued to hear where this goes as well.
So, I brought up the Metal Injection article here, but Killswitch Engage guitarist Adam D confirmed the long-awaited debut album from Burn Eternal, his collaborative project with Howard Jones, is officially complete. It's all ready to go. There's still no release date, but it's done. He added the duo are still in talks with labels to finalise the release. So it's a two-person affair, which I guess is what Times of Grace with Jesse started out
Yeah,
with
that's
as
what
well.
I was just thinking. It
Adam
kind of-
did pretty much all the music for Times of Grace,
Yeah.
his first album, Hymn of a Broken Man, which is one of my favourite records ever made.
Mm.
So if we're going to get a similar vibe with this, with Howard on vocals, then, I mean...
Yeah, sign us up. Like, 100%. I didn't realise that this was going to be a thing this year as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
That definitely sounds, like, really, really cool to me.
Yeah. And he says it sounds a bit like Killswitch, obviously, because I'm the songwriter for Killswitch.
Yeah.
It sounds like me and Howard. So, there you go. I mean, I think Howard's also working on a solo album, according to this, as well. Joined by Josh Gilbert,
Spirit Box
from the
producer.
Spirit Box producer. Joseph Queen Azalea, Dying Bullet for My Valentine engineer. So it's good that Howard's getting his creative juices flowing again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously...
He's
we
a
had
great talent.
Well,
as
we
well.
had The Devil You Know, or whatever that side project was called, but he's
Yeah.
kind of been out of the limelight. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the reasons he left Killswitch was because of depression, and he's diabetic as well.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, in that photo that we've got on this article, he looks very well. You
Yes,
know?
they both...
They look very healthy.
It's such a typical Adam D pose. His thumbs up
The
and
thumbs up and the sort of
this big grin.
big grin smile.
But I'm obviously a huge Killswitch fan. I have gone on record to say that I'm the Jesse guy, the one
Yeah.
Jesse guy. But I love Howard as well, obviously.
Yeah, Howard's brilliant.
Howard's vocals at that time in that era were. I mean, they were the thing that propelled Killswitch to the
Yeah.
stratosphere, really.
Absolutely.
And As Daylight Dies is one of my favourite albums ever. So if this album is anywhere near as good as that album, I'll
Yeah.
be...
I was just about
up
to
for it.
say, yeah, like when I first heard of Killswitch Engage, like it was Howard. So
Of course it was. Was for a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
well, Jesse, he left before they could go over to... before they could leave America, pretty much, I would say, in 2002.
Yeah.
Just after they released Live Just Breathing. And then Howard stepped in, you know, and
Yeah.
then that momentum that they already had was instantly propelled to the stratosphere. Yeah, and then obviously released End of Heartache, which did very well. But I mean, for me, As Daylight Dies is
Yeah.
the album. For
that
me.
is pretty peak, yeah.
There's not a single bad track on that album.
No.
And just it's Howard and Adam D. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to this. Burn Eternal, and release date TBC.
Yes.
Finally, Gojira have been basically confirmed to be working or having completed a new record.
Ooh.
It's going to be their first one since
Fortitude,
which
came
I
out 5
bloody-
years ago now.
I bloody loved Fortitude. In fact, that was my album of the year over Glow On.
What, in
which-
2021?
In 2021.
Yeah.
Which is really unbelievable to think about for me.
I can't remember what my album of the year that year was, but Fortitude was
But
definitely in my
Fortitude
top
was so
5.
bloody good. Oh my god. I think that was really the sort of... It really was the kind of peak of where they were, what sort of style they were writing in up
Yeah.
to that point, you know. And Born for One Thing's amazing, and Amazonia, and The Grind, and
I love The
Sphinx.
Grind.
Oh, amazing songs.
And it was brilliant to like hear that album live as well, obviously.
They're, again, another just really consistent band who I
Mm.
don't think have ever made a bad album.
Yeah.
And they're still great, they're still going. I think they are probably as big, or if not bigger, than they've ever been, thanks to the Olympics and stuff.
Yeah. And
So-
obviously headlining Bloodstock last year, which was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, really. You know, I don't think we said as much at the time, because we were just...
We were kind of taking
We took
in
it
the
for
moment.
granted. We took it for
Yeah.
granted, really, because they're always absolutely amazing live, and the production value is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's going to be Gojira, and it's going to be amazing,
Yes.
whatever happens.
Yeah.
So, that pretty much wraps it up, I would say. for
Yeah, I would
this.
say so. Good.
It was a
good
long
first
one.
podcast
It was a
for
long one.
The year. Obviously, like I said, because we're not really doing as many gig vlogs right now, I'm not sure when our next video will be. It will most likely be a 2000 Trees reaction, if there is any more news to that. which, hopefully is soon. Otherwise, we'll probably just be in the background working on some of the stuff that we mentioned in this podcast.
I want to get our Instagram really the ball rolling on that. More stuff coming out of that.
Yeah, putting more posts out instead of.
Maybe just old school kind of like gig posts for gigs that we attended. I might even do one for Marmozets, to be fair. Potentially get a Discord up and running. I know I said this last time round, but
yeah,
I'd like to get a community going. I'd like to get ideas on paper of what you want to see from us. Yeah, we'll obviously keep working on that because again, a lot of this stuff takes time. Yes.
Like just looking at my calendar, I don't think I have a free weekend until like April.
We are
I'm so
very
busy. I'm so busy with like football and Pokemon stuff. Like,
yeah,
and obviously we've got to find time to start prepping for festival season at some point as 100%, well.
100%. Yeah, that'll probably be. We could probably do like a video on the prep we do for that potentially.
Quite possibly.
Take a leaf out of the Ragamuffins book.
Yes.
Shout out to them, obviously, as always.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an intriguing year this year. It's like,
yeah,
I can't guarantee we're going to put a lot of videos out this year, but we're going to do our best to make sure
the ones that we do put
out are quality
and the best sort of editing that we've done
and the best that we can make it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you for sticking with us to this point. Thank you for listening. I hope we don't let you down this year with some of the stuff that we've got planned. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this new venture for this channel.
Yeah.
So all that remains to say is that I'm Rob.
And I'm Laura.
We'll see you on the other side. Cheers.